Lasers. We've been playing with them. We're going to go over some of the benefits, advantages, and uses of attaching a laser to your handgun. Coming up next. So, pardon the somewhat goofy intro. Gotta have fun every once in a while, right? We've got two bits here from Crimson Trace. One on the itty-bitty DB380 from Diamondback. That's how small that thing is. Fits in the palm of my hand. With these tiny sights, can be somewhat difficult to aim sometimes, especially quickly. Got an experiment to demonstrate some use for that turns this little guy with its tiny short barrel into actually a pretty accurate handgun. Now our Bersa TPR9C here is got a rail-mounted green laser. If you're wondering about brightness, of course, the camera is setting some definition of color and brightness, then the processing of the video software, the compression that YouTube does, then the screen you're looking at it on, then the ambient lighting around you. But you should know that I'm sitting between two massive 4,000 watt soft lights. That's why there's no shadows ever, and everything's so nice and bright and clear. It's also why I end up sweating when I make these videos, because it gets really hot between these. But it's daylight bright. So that's what you're seeing, daylight bright, with the lasers here. I can tell you that the green picked up much easier outdoors than the red did. So that is true. I'd always heard that, was wondering if it's just an excuse to charge more for green lasers. No, green is a lot easier to see in daylight than the red is. However, this laser guard thing here that mounts on the Diamondback, and they have it for several other models, with the instinctive on, the button's right there, so when you grab the gun and you've got a shooting grip on it, the laser is on. It's a nice feature and a solution for guns like this that are tiny or don't have a rail already on them. This one mounts on any Picatinny rail and has an on, goes off of course, and then there's also a strobe feature. By holding down both buttons, I believe it cycles between it. Let's see if I get this. There we go. The strobe feature, which is very attention grabbing. Or we can go back to our constant on by holding down both buttons long enough. There we are. So, wanted to point out practical applications of these and also the limitations of them, which some people seem to forget. That's coming up next. We'll take a look at first, why have a laser in the first place for aiming, aside from when you can use the sights, or you might think your night sights are a good replacement for it.
So pocket guns like the Diamondback DB380 are great because they're so small and concealable. However, the sights on them are difficult to use. Companies like Crimson Trace make these instinctive grip lasers that not only make aiming easier in regular positions, but make shooting one-handed from behind cover like Maddie is a lot easier. We've got a small torso at 20 yards. So there, the laser permitted Maddie to keep most of her body behind cover and only use one hand to shoot.
And the second demonstration, we're going to be taking some long shots using the laser with this compact gun, compact barrel. Let's see what happens. So
another benefit to the lasers, especially if you go with the green laser, which is significantly easier to see in daylight, is the ability to make longer shots possible. At least that's what we're going to try. I've got 5 rounds of Fiocchi 115 grain ball here and the Bersa TPR9C compact gun. So range ammo, fighting gun, Crimson Trace laser, ABC steel target, 45, maybe 50 yards out there. Let's see if I can make this happen using just the laser. Lowering the gun so I'm not looking at the sights, just using the laser. lost it. There it is. So what you saw there was there's a significant difference between the point of impact of the laser and the sights. That's because the height over bore, like you have on scopes, since the laser is below the bore of the barrel, you zero it at a set range. I zeroed this at 7 yards for defensive use, defensive gun. That's what the laser's for. So since the laser had to point upward for that zeroing to match the barrel, when we get out this far to 45, 50 yards, the laser ends up being really high. Doesn't quite work for making a long trick shot unless you've zeroed it for that. So it's something to keep in mind when you install a laser, that the range that you zero it at is where it's going to line up with your sights. Anything closer and you're probably going to hit, the laser will be showing low. Anything further and the laser will be hitting high.
So I hope that helped in showing you why lasers are good to have, and also something you need to be considerate of, and that is that height below bore of the laser, and where it can be a detriment, or at least something that you have to think about in advance. I want to thank Crimson Trace for giving us this opportunity, and of course the DB380 and Bersa TPR9C did their parts quite well. Really changed the practical applications of this gun. I recommend, if you have a pocket gun, that you look into one of these laser guard type setups. Really amplified the usefulness of the DB380. Thanks for watching.